Alright guys, I don't know what to expect anymore. After this reveal, honestly I wasn't expecting them to reveal anything. I thought this was just a rumor and it wasn't even gonna happen maybe. And then this trailer just pops up out of nowhere in the state of play and I'm like, what is happening? It feels like I'm dreaming. When I look at this trailer, it doesn't even feel real, but we're here. Sonic X Shadow, strange name, Generations, is real. And this is such a good idea. Now, I do think that the rumored Sonic and Shadow game is this. Unfortunately, it's kind of disappointing because I know we all wanted a new, fresh experience with those two characters, and I'm sure we'll get that someday. But to me, this is fine because Generations did need a remaster, not as badly as Adventure Through Shadow, and maybe 06 as well. Although Project 06 kind of fills that void. But you would think those older games need the remake, remaster more, but I think they did something really creative with this. And I think they learned from their mistake with Colors Ultimate, which was not including enough extra content to really make another purchase of a game that you may already own make sense, right? This is like a whole other campaign that has been missing from Generations for 12 years. This is like the DLC for Generations we never got, but I'm sure they thought about it. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, how did they not think of this when they were making Generations to begin with? And I guess Shadow's character just wasn't as popular around that time. Or maybe he was, I don't know. Like, I just, it's hard to understand. I think they were so focused on classic Sonic that they didn't even think to give Shadow his own thing. But now we're in this age where Shadow is on a resurgence. Like, his character is coming back into the zeitgeist, if you will. With the movie, with the TV show, and just in general, I mean, mods, every Sonic game has a Shadow mod. I mean, name one Sonic game that doesn't have a Shadow mod. Very few. I think even Sonic R has a Shadow mod. So I'm sure, you know, looking at this trailer, another thing that like makes an alarm go off in my head is like, oh, I think I remember hearing in an interview the developers said that, I think specifically it may have been Takashi Iizuka, I'm not sure, but he said that they want to do better than the mods that are out there.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
So that tells me that they must have looked at that Shadow Generations mod, which had like the modern and classic Shadow that you could play like a Sky Troops level. I'm sure they looked at mods like that for Generations and they were like, what if we just give Shadow his own campaign and show what his character was up to during Generations? I mean, that's such a good idea. This makes me love Generations even more. Generations was already one of my favorites, but this is gonna bring it up so much higher. And okay, let's just talk about the things we've seen in this that you're seeing right now on the screen, which is Black Doom. Seeing him in HD is so bizarre, like in an official way, not like some fan doing an HD model, but like this is stuff that's from like the GameCube era of the Sonic games, Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog. Seeing that kind of stuff in today's graphical standards is bizarre. It feels like a dream. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. And Radical Highway just looks incredible. I mean, they have the Bio Lizard and what looks to be like the Final Hazard, like Shadow's level from Sonic Adventure 2 or Final Rush. I don't know which one they're basing it off of. It could be even based off of a Space Colony Arc level from Shadow the Hedgehog, like Cosmic Fall, or I forgot the names of the other ones, but it's just insane. And Shadow's animations, he's definitely not just a clone of Sonic. Like, it's not just a reskin or a model change with some slight animation differences in like the running and stuff. It's a whole other character. The way he teleports around instead of homing attacking, like echoing that Shadow the Hedgehog CGI intro where he's sort of like so fast that he's just blinking around and he's hitting all the enemies. That shit is so cool. To be able to do that in-game, that is dreamlike. I mean, what a good idea. There's clearly so much attention to detail. The animation looks incredible. Black Doom looks incredible. I wonder if they're gonna get Sean Schemmel to voice Black Doom again. Because as you know, the voice of Goku voiced Black Doom. And I'm sure Sean Schemmel doesn't even remember doing that because it was so long ago. But I wonder if they got him back to voice Black Doom. Probably not, but yeah. And then the fact that the game is actually called Sonic X Shadow Generations is just, it's strange, because if you just take that Sonic part out, it's just Shadow Generations. That's why it's weird when I look at the logo. I'm like, all I see is Shadow Generations. Like, I think that's really what they wanted to do with this remaster. I really hope that this is a campaign and it's not just a couple of levels with a boss battle. Like, I hope it's a campaign with a story that's almost as long as Generations itself. That's what we deserve, honestly, and that's what would make this sell so well. If they could at least make it almost as long as the main campaign of Generations, I mean, that would just be wild, and it's just so good to see Shadow getting the spotlight again. It doesn't feel real. I guess I thought I was ready for this to be the year of Shadow, but I didn't know what it meant. This is crazy. I hope that whenever we get more remasters in the future, they throw in little extra stories for characters that we didn't initially get to see their perspective. I mean, that's just such a good idea. They could honestly just keep doing that with Generations. Like, what was Tails up to? What was Knuckles up to? I mean, there's so many possibilities with Generations that they could still milk it if they really wanted to. But I think just keeping it to Sonic and Shadow and Classic Sonic is perfect. I don't know what to say anymore. I was not expecting to see Black Doom. Like, that is so wacky. What a throwback, man. I mean, I know that's the whole point of Generations, but it's just so great to see that character again. It makes me wish we could see characters like Mephiles again and some other characters that haven't gotten the spotlight in a very long time, you know. It's just such a strange time we live in. I don't know where they're going with this, you know. But all I hope is that this will bring Shadow back to the forefront and will pave the way for him to have his own game again. I really think that that's where we're going. I think we're on track for Shadow to get his own brand new game. If this does well, which it will, we're going to be getting a new Shadow game. Highly likely, we're going to be getting a new Shadow game. I don't see any other way around it. Or at least like a new game that heavily features Shadow, right? Or maybe Shadow is going to have a huge part in Frontiers sequel, or whatever game they do next that's in the Frontiers gameplay style. I'm really excited for those types of things, because when you look at Sonic's combat in Frontiers, it's like, oh, Shadow would be perfect for this type of gameplay. Like, Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06, he had some combat elements already that the traditional Sonic games didn't have. So if anything, like, he totally would fit into a Frontier style game. So I just feel like that's where we're going. Like, he's gonna be brought back to the forefront and become one of the main characters again that shows up more often in the games and is respected more. I feel like the writers before, for the past like 10 or so years, just did not understand Shadow, and I don't know what happened and how he sort of fell out of being in the official games, you know, and hell, we couldn't even get him in Smash Brothers Ultimate. I mean, so it's just crazy to see him here and to be given such a spotlight and to be introduced in the way that he did. I mean, it's just so genius. This trailer is so genius. What a clever way to reveal Shadow again. I can't say it enough. I don't know what else I can say at this point. This is just insane. And it makes me want a new Shadow game, and I think Sega and Sonic Team will see that, and they will give us what we've been waiting for, which is a new Shadow game. Whether or not it's his own game, like the title is Shadow the Hedgehog subtitle, you know what I mean? Or it's gonna be something else that he's just featured in. I don't know. I am beyond ecstatic. I'm so excited for this. I can't believe this is real. I feel like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and people are gonna be like, Sonic X Shadow Generations. That sounds like a fan fiction. What are you talking about, man? That's not real. What are you talking about? You're on something. It doesn't feel real, and in the best way possible, I mean that it doesn't feel real, you know, not in a negative way, but in a very positive way, that I'm just like, what in the hell? Where did this come from? Like, I guess I should have seen the writing on the wall, but I still personally feel that it would have been really cool to get a Unleashed remaster, but I'm sure that'll happen someday. If not, then oh well, you know what I mean? Like, people are gonna have to keep perfecting the PS3 emulator until it works out, or Xbox emulator. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say right now. Let me know what you guys think, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. Here's to the year of Shadow, and hopefully it'll be a good one. I'll see you in the next video, creators. Peace out.
You see all of me.